Get him, Paul. Oh, there we go. Good fish. Good fish.
Nice fish. He bit that red hook again.
Good job netting, Paul. Hey, we're out here today. It's not such a great day for people, but I tell you what, it's probably the perfect day for the thing we're doing. We're fishing in early May out on Green Bay, which is part of Lake Michigan. And because it's early in the year, the water temperatures are still cold. We're talking 50, 52 degree water here. And because of that, the fish, the walleyes, are going to be looking for shallow areas where the water is just slightly warmer. That's where activity is starting to happen. Because of these cold water conditions, we're going to have to fish very slow, and it almost dictates a spinner kind of presentation. I'm fishing out here with my good friend today, Paul Gruett. He's from the Green Bay area here. He fishes out here a lot, and we've just come out here to enjoy a good day out on the water and catch a bunch of these shallow water walleyes. So we're going to go through the tactics that we're using, and we're going to get you the next bite. People always wonder where I sit to answer their questions on the next bite and check my email and stuff. This is it. I spend lots of time right in this chair when I'm not fishing. 3:30 in the morning is when I get a lot of my good work done, but usually I'm staying up till 3:30 in the morning. This morning, we're off to go fishing. A lot of people ask how long I've been tournament fishing. This is about 20 years worth of plaques, all the way back from, I think this was my first one, 1986, 9th place, Alexandria, Minnesota. A little tiny lake. Gonna meet Rooster. They call him Rooster. His name is Paul Gruett. They call him Rooster because he don't sleep, and he seems to think we need to be there early. So hopefully Rooster will be up there when I get there. We're going up on the Bay of Green Bay today. It's part of Lake Michigan. And the walleyes are moving in. One nice thing is I've got a little helpful aider. I've punched in the boat landing. Not only tells me how far I've got to go, but how many minutes. So we got about 44 minutes. Just to show you kind of the area that we're going to be fishing. We're going to be fishing the west side of Green Bay. A couple of the towns up there, Oconto and Peshtigo, have rivers that flow in. Those are spawning rivers, but now this time of year they tend to hold the fish around those areas. So there's quite a long stretch there you can fish. We'll have to find where the walleyes are hanging out and then hopefully catch a few of them. But 44 minutes to walleye fishing. I'll be awake by then. There's the flag out there, Paul. Right there. And the board's going back.
I'll take them. I'm not that way.
That's nice of you.
I'm not that way. Ooh, this feels like a nice one too, Keith.
What should we do with them boards? Just clear them on the inside?
I would say clear them on the inside. I would just try to be able to bring it past them.
That old Tattle flag, whop, it went down, and then that board just cruised back. I'll get these inside ones out of the way for you, Paul. Looks like a good one, huh?
Yeah, he feels pretty good.
I'm going to just take and set these boards right in the splash well instead of unhitching them and everything. That way, once we're done pulling this fish in, we can right away slide those boards back out. A lot of times these fish will school up, so if we can keep our lines in the water, we might get a couple at once.
Boy, that board is buried. Straight up in the air. It's a blast.
Oh, it's a short line. How much should we have behind
25
that outside?
feet with a corner split shot above the swivel.
Look at how it's going straight out to the side here, though. Here's the board. No flag on here because it's a Tattle flag, so it's slapped right over. Got her, Paul?
Yep, good.
Grab a net.
Got about 10 feet left.
So you're waiting for me, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, waiting
Here
for
I
you.
come. Looks like a good one.
He's coming in.
I don't see him yet.
10 feet yet. Here's the swivel.
A little flash down there. Water's a little bit stained in here. Oh, there he is. There he is. I see him, but he's...
Oh, he wants to run. He's seen the boat. Here he comes.
Keep coming. I got him!
Beautiful fish!
Boy, look at that beautiful fish! Wow! That's a big one.
They
Oh,
got,
nice job.
they got
man.
nice golden color here.
Look at here. He ain't real super fat, but look at the length on him. I think he's actually been caught before. That's probably from a net. Why don't you grab that hook out of him? Just a 2-hook crawler harness. Ooh, he wasn't hooked by much, was he?
No, he wasn't. Just that
Look
he
at
had the
that.
end hook. Boy,
Good
just
job,
a beautiful
Paul.
color on them.
Really a nice one in the bay here. You know, they get a lot of that color because they're up shallow. I mean, we're only fishing 5, 6, 7 feet of water. But in the spring like this, the fish are going to be up in the shallow because this is the warmest water in the bay. So, man, nice job fighting him. He really, right at the end there, just wanted to take off again. But you dropped that rod to him and it worked out really good. Now let's get him back in the water here. Ooh, little wave action. There he goes. Nice, Paul. Very
Beautiful.
nice. What we're basically fishing here is a flat situation. It's a slow, gradual taper from shore out to a little bit deeper break, but we're holding in about, 6 or 7 feet of water. That seems to be the depth the fish want to be at, and they're right tight to the bottom. So what we want to do is get our spinner with our crawler fishing about a foot off the bottom, not dragging right down on the bottom.
Here we got a 4 or 5 foot lead with a 1/4 ounce split shot right
up here.
above the snap.
And once you got that out to 25 feet, then what we're going to do is just clip on the boards. And the boards are just simply to spread our situation out to the side, or spread this presentation out to the side. Obviously in this real shallow water, even with a quiet kicker down there, these fish will spook away from the boat. So the boards are going to help us spread out to the side and have this bait running just where we want it. Fish on, Paul.
Seems like a nicer one too.
I got him. Well, and it would have been hard to read that board if it weren't for the flag, because it just barely, it only went back a foot or so.
Yep.
I think, you know, those fish are in this colder water, 50, 52 degree water. They're just barely biting that bait and then just kind of swimming along. Here's the board, Paul. You get that board for me?
Got it. Go ahead.
All right. Paul, why don't you go ahead and punch in a waypoint?
Okay.
These fish a lot of times will be in small schools, and if you can take and keep track of where that school is and we'll quick circle around, you never know, you might catch that second, third, fourth fish. Yeah, it seems like they kind of just swim along, but then when they hear that kicker, even as quiet as it is, then they want to stop, and there he goes. Fight a little. Go ahead and grab the net, Paul.
Oh, he's a nice one.
See him out there? Oh yeah, he's a good one. Good job. Nice netting job, Paul. Look at it.
Fish.
Boy, but look at how he just barely,
Boy,
barely are biting it. Just barely hooked up on that second one.
Just that they're following it, and then it's
Good fish though. Boy, they're just, I mean, they're just in the slow, in this
stage.
cold water. We're moving along really slow, 0.8, 0.9 miles an hour, and they're coming up behind that and just barely biting it. And then they just kind of swim along, so that board doesn't fade back like a normal Great Lakes fish would. They're just kind of swimming along, and that's why we got to use them tattle flags. But good fish. I'm gonna release them right over here. Here we go. Boy, he was a nice hard fighting fish. Took the board back nice. Oh, there he goes. What we're fishing here is a real long, just a shoreline flat basically is what we're fishing. And it all kind of looks the same to us, but obviously some places along here are going to be better for the walleyes to be in. We made a pretty long pass here, but you can see right here is a couple of waypoints where we caught fish. So there's a little pocket of fish here. So Paul and I are going to quick reel up here. We're going to circle back around. We're going to go back out in the deep water so we don't spook them. Circle around, set up, upwind of them again, and then come through those same fish again. Walleyes are a schooling fish. If you find them, you've done the most hardest job there is in walleye fishing. You found them. So once you do find them, stay on them, circle around them. A GPS is what's going to let you do that.
second board, Keith, your side.
Oh yeah, there it goes. Here we go. Yeah, fade him back. You got him, Paul. Good rod bend. Oh, yeah.
Get that board.
We'll try and keep the tension on that line. I don't know why I'm telling you. You probably fish more than I do out here.
I wouldn't say that. Boy, Keith, he snapped it back
back clip off of the
Hit
line
it so
there.
hard to hit the
It
back
looks
hook
hard.
right off, huh? We had 30 feet behind the board on this one, but in only 5, we kind of got snuck up a little shallower, 5, 6 feet, 5.5. There he is out. There's a split shot out there, Paul. Why don't you go ahead and grab that net? He's going to be here real quick. Short line out on this one. All right. Oh yeah, good one. Come to the surface and wall it a little. You ready there, Paul?
Yep, bring him up.
I'm going to bring him up.
There we go.
Good job, Paul. Bring him right here. Oh yeah. Little purple body on that one, huh?
Yes.
Purple body, a couple white beads added on for good flavor.
Boy, he's hooked on the top hook here, Keith.
Yeah, and that's a good sign when they start hitting that upper hook. That means they're a little bit more aggressive and active. Now, he's got a little mark on his gill plate there, but he'll be fine. We'll get him back in the water here real quick.
Beautiful fish.
Oh, it's getting nice out. The sun's starting to shine. Fish are biting.
Fish
Love
are
it.
biting.
The Real Deal. Straight talk to make you a better fisherman. Brought to you by thenextbite.com. Real fishing information from real fishing experts.
One thing about early season walleyes is that in the cooler water, a lot of times they aren't as aggressive as they would be, say, in the middle of summer. And what we're finding out here on this flat is that we're fishing with crawler harnesses, just using a small split shot to get them down. But what's happening is the fish are swimming in behind that crawler, grabbing it, but then a lot of times just swimming right along. So it's very difficult to detect a bite. In the shallow water, we have to use boards to spread out our lines. So what I'm using on the boards is a little system called a Tattle tail system. And what we do with that is let our spinner out. I'm letting out about 25 feet of line. But then we're going to attach the board. Now a Tattle flag is a little bit different than a regular board. The idea behind it is that when we get a little extra pressure pulling on that lure that's back here, our spinner, what happens is that flag pulls down and we can see that. So we aren't even expecting the weight of the fish to pull the board back. We're expecting this to get pulled down like that. So the way I'm going to hitch that up is I'm going to take and put my line into the front clip, but then for the second clip back here, I'm going to leave a little bit of a loop of line and attach this. What that allows this to do now is when I get that extra tension of a fish back here, it'll pull here, pull out this clip, pull down this bar, and the old flag will just go down like that. Now one real important thing on here is this spring. And what you've got to do with this spring is there's little notches up here. You've got to adjust the tension of this spring so that when this fish pulls, it just barely brings that flag down. For a split shot and a spinner like it is, you know, the second hold down is just right here. If I was pulling a heavier pulling crankbait or heavier weights, I might have to go down to 4 or 5 holes down. So a tattletale system is very good for when you've got light biting fish or when you've got small fish that are biting on your boards. In either case, you'll be able to see that bite very quickly and know when to reel your fish in.
Hot topics. Leading edge techniques and tackle designed to put more fish in your boat. Brought to you by Johnsonville.
You know, one of the things I like to do when I'm out fishing is, of course, try to catch a lot of fish, but what I want to do is make that as easy as possible. And one of the things that's really helping me out a lot in the last few years is a trolling motor that has what's called depth tracking. Depth tracking actually allows you to follow contours easier. It allows you to have better boat control. And kind of like these brats, it just makes things a lot easier. So we're going to go out on the water and show you how these new trolling motors work in this week's Johnsonville Brats Hot Topic. There you go.
Contour trolling is an art form. My dad taught me a long time ago when I was a little guy that if you pull a crankbait by a fish that's on a drop-off, you're going to get bit. The key is getting that crankbait to the fish. Now we have all of my rods set up here at certain depths, and my job is to keep this boat in the right depth. If I go too shallow, I'm going to get snagged. If I go too deep, I'm going to end up having my baits above the fish. So boat control is critical. We use little kicker motors with tiller handles so that we can go back and forth and make real sharp turns to stay on the drop-off. However, our boats are getting bigger. You look at an 18-foot boat and above, it's hard to swing the bow back and forth fast enough to keep on the drop-offs for all the little nooks and crannies and turns that you have to negotiate through. So what we're using today is a combination of the trolling motor in the bow and the kicker in the back. Today's technology is amazing. That PTS-5 motor guide up there tracks the depth for me. We have it set at 12 feet, and that means that automatically the motor is steering along this depth contour. It's keeping the front of my boat in 12 feet. I can literally watch that trolling motor, and as the trolling motor turns out, it tells me it's getting shallow ahead of me. I turn my kicker motor and help it along. This way, I know by using both motors in conjunction that my baits are in the fish zone 100% of the time.
Keith, right here, right
side.
here.
Oh yeah, there it goes. Yeah, it's fading back.
Oh yeah, good fish, Paul. The old board just slid back. The weight of the fish pulled the board back, and that's how we knew there was a bite.
Grab that net. Get her extended.
There's the split shot already. Can you see him down there,
Oh,
Paul?
I can't see him yet. A little higher.
It's split shot. We only got. There he is.
Oh, that's a nice one.
All right, get him in.
Oh, nice fish.
Oh man, is that a good one? He just slammed it too. That.
There you hit the top hook again.
Yeah. Got the top hook. It's a little gold kind of a pattern. I'll show you one thing that this one has got that's a little bit different. It's this type of blade I'm using on there. You can see this is what we call a chopper blade. And not a lot of people run chopper blades. It's kind of a combination of a Colorado and an Indiana. But that is a good blade because it turns so easy. And at the slow speed, that real slow turn obviously catches big fish. And that's a early in the year tactic we're doing here. Very shallow water, very slow speeds, just barely turning that spinner blade, but attracting big walleyes. God, is that a nice fish. He smells like a walleye.
Yes, he does.
Well, we'll get him back in the water here.
This major and minor bite times, especially as they relate to musky fishing.
I'm down in Kekana, Wisconsin, and he's going to be out here today.
We got fish on, I think.
Oh, we do have fish on. We got fish on. We get this board for you too. It's getting close. Get out of the way. Come on, hurry up, get up. We're fishing early season walleye. Bang! Right on the camera.
For a great place to stay or to book a guide service to catch some trophy walleye, contact Dale Stroshine at Sand Bay Beach Resort. Call or visit on the web at sandbaybeachresort.com.